Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, everyone. I'm currently on a walk late at night. It's a little windy. Hopefully, it doesn't start raining. I'm headed back, so hopefully, I get home before it starts. If it is going to start, I saw lightning earlier, but there was no thunder, meaning the lightning was way far away, but it looked close, but there was no sound, so it must have been really far, right? Hopefully that's how that works. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, my girlfriend, she went to bed later than her, new usual. Her old usual used to be 4 to 4:30, but it's been bumped down to 2 to 2:30, or just 2:30. But we stayed up till 3, just talking. Yeah, I said in the last video we had a bumpy thing, but now we've been good today. It seems like after we have a big bumpy, we have a nice day after. It seems to be the thing with us. Oh, water sprinkler. Don't get my phone wet. You can get me wet, just don't get my phone wet. I'm gonna hold my phone away. I don't know if my phone is waterproof, presumably not. Oh god, another sprinkler. Oh, that one's a little further away though, so it might not reach. Maybe. Is there a spider web on my arm? I don't know. Anyway, we're all good now. So, what this video is about is what I said in my last video, that I was going to make a whole video about girl turtles. And that's what I'm here to do. And I'm actually going to start backwards. Start at the last girl turtle and go all the way to the first. Which the last video was all about her, so you can just go watch the last video if you want. But I'll still talk about her here, even though I already did. Oh god, that's a big... Okay, that's it. I'm walking in the grass. Fuck this. I'm going to get hit if I don't. Hopefully that's not illegal here. Yeah, I've walked on this grass before. It should be fine. Doesn't seem like it's one of those places. Oh my god. I can't even... Anyway. So, starting at the last girl turtle, unless I'm mistaken, but I think this was the last girl turtle. Pre. From IDW. I think she first appeared, according to what I looked up, issue 150, the last of the original wave. It's basically how Mirage had volume 1, volume 2, volume 4. The relaunch is essentially IDW volume 2. And this was the last of the original wave. So, Pre, along with her two brothers, Max and Roy, are warp turtles, created with the help of the warp crystal, which is the magic crystal that brings drawings to life that Kirby used in Mirage and 2003. And in this universe, I don't know if Kirby exists, but the warp crystal does. I'm pretty sure if the warp crystal exists, Kirby's got to exist, right? I don't know. Michelangelo was going to use the warp crystal. He was going to use the warp crystal to draw Kirby the fifth turtle, but because they couldn't get the rights to Kirby, they had to scrap that idea. It sucks. Oh, it's a train. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Donnie made these turtles, future Donnie. Alternate timeline bad future Donnie, where he's gone mad. He's become a mad scientist. He's kind of a dick. That's like the third time a future timeline of IDW Donnie has done something bad, to my knowledge. There could be more. And the original Donnie, our main timeline Donnie, is ashamed of what his future self is. I don't know if they're just running out of ideas with reusing that plot point, or if they're trying to make a point reusing that plot point. I don't know what... Maybe Donnie is destined to turn bad and he's always destined to hate himself? Nah, that can't be it. That's neither here nor there. I'm getting sidetracked. Point is, the Warp Turtles are, well, they're a little messed up. Pre has a sai for a hand on one hand. I think they're all kind of weird looking in their own ways, like slightly deformed, but not too bad. Not too bad. I don't know much about their individual personalities. I need to look up a video about them if one exists, or I could just read the wiki, or I could try to go out of my way to find the comic and read it, but nah, this is just meant to be a quick video anyway. Or not quick as in get through all the turtles quickly instead of focusing on them for like 30 minutes. This video is probably going to be around 30 minutes long like the last one. Anyway, I don't know much about their personalities, but they were experiment turtles created with the help of the warp crystal for one, but also Q&A, which is something from the IDW continuity. It's tied to how reincarnation works, and it's an ingredient in the IDW mutagen, Baxter's mutagen. Before I knew this bit about the IDW lore, I assumed the mutagen in IDW was the same mutagen from '87 because it had the same name. My mistake. I was clearly freaking mistaken. It's totally different. It's a different substance with a different origin, different chemical makeup, different way of working and everything. So, yeah, no. Anyway, that's a story for another day. It's neither here nor there. I could make a video about all the different mutagen types. I cataloged and kept track of how each of them works and whatnot, and even made up a few new ones, a few original ones. But again, that's neither here nor there. So, the Q&A is how, reincarnation works. And Donnie, who's gone mad in the future, being the last surviving family member, is trying to resurrect his family using Q&A. But instead of resurrecting them, he keeps creating new children. And according to the 3 warp turtles we meet, which their names come from a book, they're named after the androids from Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Which makes sense, Donnie would be into that. Sci-fi, science book. He keeps making new beings instead of resurrecting his family, and according to the 3 here, these 3, they're not the first. He's made more before this, and they've probably died. Because he's not a good father. He doesn't really care. He's not great. Our Donnie, past Donnie, kicks future Donnie's ass for that. Good. Why did the writers in IDW keep doing that to Donnie? Why do they keep making him bad in the future? What the fuck? Peter Laird had a no girls rule. I've mentioned that before. And the fact that there's so many girl turtles in IDW, that feels kind of like a jab to him. It's probably not, but it seems like it. And the fact that they keep taking his favorite turtle, Donatello, and doing this to him. The allegations that that IDW doesn't like Peter Laird, not looking good. Anyway, is that a turtle in the creek? Nah, it's probably a rock. If I see a turtle while doing a video about turtles, that'd be the shit. Anyway, so yeah, that's Prees. Prees? Yeah, Google Translate said it's pronounced Prees, so that's what I'm going with, Prees. I decided to start in the back and go forward because I knew I was going to forget how to pronounce it by the end. So I wanted to do it first. So yeah, that's Prees for you. Now moving back. The next girl turtle, next one, is Freya. It's like Friday without the Y. Freya from Rise. She was Big Mama's assistant, who was supposed to be revealed to be one of the turtles' 2 long-lost siblings. But of course, we know what happened. The show got prematurely ended. I made a trilogy of Rise videos, one before the show came out, one during, and then one after. I might make a 4th part, make it a quadrilogy, because I'm pretty sure we're we know how the future of the last part of that trilogy years ago was the unknown, the uncertain future of Rise. And I think it's pretty certain at this point. The creators keep saying if we keep, pushing, eventually they'll unpause it, but the fact that they had to quickly show a bunch of the stuff they didn't get to show in this little comic, 40th anniversary comic, where a bunch of different iterations had short little one-shot stories in their universe, showing like a where are they now type deal. And for Rise, they showed a whole bunch of stuff. And the fact that they dumped all that stuff there probably means they're not confident that the show's going to continue, so they won't get to show it off in the show. At least that's how I'm taking it. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, whatever. Point is, Freya was supposed to be revealed in the show as one of the lost siblings, but the show got canceled before they could do that. So in this 40th anniversary, while Leo is time traveling using his portals, or not his portals, Mikey's the one with the time travel portals, but Leo keeps jumping through different points in time where we see different events that was going to happen in the show. And one of them, we see Freya without her mask. They never specify what species she is, but the yellow markings on her face make me think she's a yellow belly slider. I mean, what else could she be? I mean, it's possible she's something else, but I'm pretty sure it's a yellow belly slider. Anyway, she's pretty. We don't get to know much of her personality because we only get to see her for like a quick second, so that sucks. That sucks. We still don't know who the long lost brother is, but I could make a whole different video about that later. Like I said, I'll make a part 4 to my trilogy. Anyway, that's Freya. That's what she was. Long lost sister. We didn't get to finish her story, but we got to see her at least. We never even got to get her name confirmed in universe. The creators had to come out and say, yeah, her name's Freya. Named after a Spanish artist. This is cool. Just wish we got to hear it in the actual thing, though. Oh well. So then, speaking of Spanish artist turtles, before that we have Lita, who is a freaking conundrum of a character who, when I first started seeing like sneak peeks of her, like little snippets showing that there was a new little girl turtle, I'm like, new turtle, yay! Only for not really okay, let me just start at the beginning. So in the IDW continuity, after the mutagen bomb went off, so many new mutants were running around, one of them being a little girl turtle, an albino girl named Lita. She was albino. I think she was black, if I remember correctly. When she was human, she was an albino black. I might be misremembering, but she was a albino as a human, and then became an albino turtle. And the turtles and Jennika and they just found her and just adopted her, and then renamed her to Lita. Weird. She didn't even ask what her name was or if she had any parents to go back to. She's ours now. She's like adopted by like all of them. So technically she's all of their daughter. Co-parented by Donnie and the rest of them. But it's confusing. Anyway, she gets a pink mask because why not? I would say boo, stereotypical girl, being cliche, being sexist. No, I actually think it works because pink is a really common albino color, so it kind of goes with her albino aesthetic, so yay. Anyway, Lita, after she gets adopted and starts being trained by them, is mostly just a background character, which is disappointing. She's cute, but not much is done with her. Then we get future Lita, and this is when the plot holes begin. So let me explain future Lita. Future Lita comes from the future to fix something in the past. She's apparently a time-stress in training, just like Renette. And apparently her master, her teacher, is Renette. And it's the same Renette from the Mirage continuity. At least that's what it's hinted at. That's what everyone seems to believe. So, that's interesting. Also, the IDW turtles met the original Usagi, and he comments that these are not the turtles he knows. So that is the same Usagi that met the Mirage turtles, funnily enough. So the chances of it being the same Renette are pretty high, since they're not above doing stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. It's a different discussion for another day. That opened up a whole nother can of worms. But point is, future Lita comes back, does some stuff, and then helps them win a band contest, a Battle of the Bands type contest. No, not coming back to stop like Savante Romero or something like something actually, I don't know, cool? I don't know how you put it. Something with actual high stakes. No, she just comes back to help them win a band contest. And then when she's done, she takes Toka and Razar into the future, because apparently they're supposed to be there. I don't see how or why. I don't have the full context, so I need to actually read the comic. Maybe I'll understand why she needed to take those two back to the future. If they're from the future and get sent to the past, okay, that makes sense. But from what I know, they're from the past, so wouldn't taking them out of the past mess with something? I don't know. But in that portal, we see another turtle that we're going to touch upon later in the video. Quick cameo from... Brain don't fart on me. A cameo from Artemisia, but we'll get to her. So that's it, future Lita. That's her deal. Now here's where the tomfuckery comes in, and where the plot of IDW really starts to fall apart. IDW was considered one of the best iterations. It was one of the best written ones for the first 100 issues. After issue 100, it started to go downhill. And this is like why, because this is a big plot hole right here. If Lita is Turtle in the future, she gets unmutated here in the past as a little girl. She gets unmutated. And as far as we know, she never gets remutated. They never show her getting remutated, even after a time skip. So presumably, she's still human. So how the hell is future Lita a turtle? Is that future Lita not our Lita? Is that a different timeline Lita? What's going on here? The hell is up with that? That's a major plot hole, and so I wanted to like Lita. I still like the idea. Lita's a cute character, but they just, I don't know, they kind of fumbled. So then, going back, the next turtle, also from IDW, was Jennika. Now let me tell you, Jennika, she was awesome, and then, of course, after the writing quality went down, of course, she got bad, but at the beginning, she was awesome. She was the opposite of Venus, who was hated upon her debut and only started to form a slight following later. This one was loved from the get-go, only to form a slight, hatred later. Literally the opposite of Venus. Holy hell. But I digress. So Jennika originally showed up in issue 50 or issue 51 of IDW as a human Foot Clan person, high-ranking Foot person. They don't even reveal her name right away. They slowly build up her character over time, showing her backstory, and we really get to know her, we get to like her. She forms like a bond with the Turtles after Splinter takes over the Foot Clan and then beats Jennika, earning her respect, so she follows him. And she kind of becomes like a big sister, an adopted big sister to the Turtles. And she starts to form a thing with Casey. It's all cool, it's all good. There's stuff going on here. I don't know why Casey and April aren't a thing in this iteration. Maybe it's the age gap, or maybe it's something else, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to do it because they felt like they had to, because Mirage did it, and then so many other iterations did it. Maybe they want it to be different. Nah, it's neither here nor there. Point is, her and Casey were going steady. Then she gets stabbed by Karai and almost bleeds to death. Is that a possum? Or is that a kitty? What is that? Oh, that's a skunk, I think. Oh, yeah, I can smell it. Yep, that's a skunk. Hello, skunky. That's right, run away, don't spray me. Do the other thing. I would try to pet you if I wasn't scared of getting sprayed. So anyway, she gets stabbed by Karai and nearly dies. So in order to save her real quick, Leonardo has to, give some of his blood to her because they happen to be the same blood type. But that mutates her into a turtle. Oof. Oof. So, she's alive, she lived, but now she's a turtle. She says you should have just let me die instead of being a mutant, which is sad, but she comes to get used to her human, or her turtle body. She gets a mask, she becomes the 5th turtle, because she was already kind of like a sister to them, so that already worked out. She's literally part of the family already, so her being a turtle isn't that much of a problem. She fits even better in now. I do think it's a little overpowered to give her 3 weapons. Like, she has a katana, not like Leonardo's katana, but a normal katana, which is her main weapon. Then she has the claws on her hand like Shredder and Slash. And she also has a bow and arrow. Okay, it's a little bit excessive, but alright, it's cool. So, yeah, for the first few issues of her as a turtle, she was still a cool character. It wasn't until after issue 100 when the main writer for the first 100 issues stepped down, and then Sophie Campbell took over. Then after that, Jennika was basically not even the same anymore because she didn't even feel like the same person. She was revealed to be bisexual, and she ended up getting a pig girlfriend, which is, I guess, cool. It's cute. I just wish that she was established to be gay or lesbian, bisexual a lot earlier. Because now it feels forced. It's just out of left field. There was no indication or hint anywhere before this that she was lesbian. Or not lesbian, bisexual. Brain. Because she had a thing with Casey, who, after she got mutated, I guess they kind of slowly drifted apart, which seems kind of fucked up of Casey. Like, what the hell, Casey? Oh no, my phone hit low battery. Shite. Alright, I better hurry up and get home. I better wrap this video up and get home quickly. So, I don't know. Casey, for someone who's friends with mutants, not dating someone because they turned into a mutant seems kind of racist. Maybe that's not the right word. I don't know, it seems kind of messed up. I don't know what the writers were on about with that. That's just, what the fuck? It just feels like they forced her thing with Casey to end just so they could give her a girlfriend. I'm all for diversity in our media, but forced diversity hurts our cause because it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, it's neither here nor there, I guess. So that's Jennika. She was popular enough to get her own spin-off comic, and I think the spin-off comic did decently. It was back, I think it was during the transitional period before she completely... Not now, I don't have time to clear up storage. I thought I dealt with that problem already. Dang it. Why do I still need to clear what am I... What the whatever. Where was I? Anyway. She had a spin-off comic that came out during the transitional period before she completely just became a different character. So I think she was still like herself, and I could be wrong though. I'm just guessing. I've never read it, and I don't know if it did well, but I assume it did well enough. And then later Jennika would become the Night Watcher, which was Raphael's thing in 2007. And this was after, the writing quality went down. So it was a badly characterized Jennika that took over the Night Watchman role. And people were already pissed that it wasn't Raphael. That was Raphael's thing. You took it away from him. It just pissed people off. So yeah, Jennika had a good start, then kind of fumbled. But moving on, next turtle, Artemisia, who was, coincidentally enough, we were talking about Sophie Campbell. Sophie Campbell's fan character, or fan turtle, and a kind of like a self-insert when she made her fan comic, Secrets of the Ooze. And this character would later be canonized when Sophie Campbell got hired by IDW and took over as the main writer after issue 100. And she had her Artemisia make a appearance in IDW when future Lita went back to the future with Tokka and Rahzar. We see a future Venus and a future everyone, and then there's also Artemisia. Don't know what her deal is in that universe. Don't know what her purpose is, why she exists, how she came to be mutated. We don't know. We don't know her backstory because it's just a brief cameo, but it's there, so it's official. She's canon. But as for her original, her from the original fan comic, she was no special backstory. It's just there was 5 turtles in the jar this time instead of 4. She has a Renaissance artist name like the rest of her brothers because that makes sense. And she's the shy worrywart turtle. That's her personality trait. So Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines, Raphael is the hothead, cool but rude, and Michelangelo's the cute, fun one, party dude, young brother, you get it. And that's her. She's the shy worrywart and the middle child. She's not the youngest or the oldest, she's perfectly in the middle. And despite being not the oldest, she's the tallest. Don't know if that's just because she got lucky with the genes, or if it's because she's a girl and girl turtles are usually bigger than guy turtles. It could be either one, really. But that's just, and her weapon is a bow and arrow. And in that Secret of the Ooze fan comic, they have face paint instead of, masks, because that was a stylistic choice, and it was neat. Her face paint color was yellow, and her pattern, because every one of them had a different pattern, hers looked like a butterfly, which was cute. In her official version in IDW, that's in the future, all the Hamato clan decides to start wearing pink face paint. So she has a face paint, but it's pink instead of yellow, and it still looks like a butterfly. Again, very cute. Forgot to mention, future Lita also has the pink face paint instead of a mask. It's interesting, I guess. Anyway, the Secrets of the Ooze fan comic never got finished. Sophie says she may finish it. I asked her on Tumblr, and she said she might get around to it. And IDW actually offered to make her comic official and actually release and publish it, and she said she's thinking about it. As much as I don't like that Sophie Campbell ruined the story of IDW after she took over, I still want to see her comic get finished because I'm actually interested in that. So the story ends on a cliffhanger with the turtles being back in time in dinosaur days, but also transformed into human form due to how the ooze works in their universe. And it's pink ooze, and something about the time machine at TCRI that transported them somehow triggered the mutation within them to go further. Make sense of that. I want to see the rest so I can figure out how that works. Does the ooze work like mutagen and it merges them with human DNA? Or does the pink ooze naturally have human DNA as one of the ingredients in there, which is why it seems to naturally turn things humanoid? I don't know. Story never got finished. in that universe also, Alopex is one of their siblings, so there's 6, not 4 or 5, there's 6. But 5 of them are turtles and one of them's a fox. Alopex doesn't get stuck back in time though. She actually is in the present, so she's probably going to be the one that rescues the turtles. But again, this is just meant to be about the girl turtles. I don't want to get on too many side tangents. This video has already reached the 30-minute mark, so I better wrap this up and hurry up. So yeah, that's Artemisia. I like her. As much as my opinions on Sophie Campbell have soured the more I learned about her, I still like Artemisia. I still like her. And Artemisia said, or Sophie said, you can use Artemisia in your fan works, fan comics, fanfics, whatever. So I'm going to use Artemisia. I like her, so I'm going to use her. Anyway. Oh, Artemisia is actually bisexual, like from the get-go, not retconned into being it later. So more power to her. Just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, taking that back. So before Artemisia, there was a long gap of no girl turtles because Peter Laird got control of the franchise back, and he banned the concept because of the next turtle we're going to talk about. Venus de Milo, the girl turtle. When you think of girl turtles, you think of Venus de Milo. She's famous. She's the girl turtle. So let me talk about Venus. It's going to be probably a long portion, but I'll try to get through it quickly without leaving out too much important stuff. So Venus was made as a substitute for Kirby after the 4th movie was canceled, but they decided to turn it into a TV show instead. But they said, we'll do it, but we replace Kirby with a girl turtle, and they were like, okay. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, well, Kevin Eastman was fine, but Peter Laird was pissed, like, damn it, fuck. He hated Venus and wanted nothing to do with her, and he can't even mention her, not even in a joking fashion around him. He did not like her. But that's just outworld stuff. Now let's go to inworld, or sort of inworld. So in the original pitch Bible for the next mutation, it was supposed to be a more serious show, and Venus was supposed to be a more serious character. Dark, mysterious, kind of giving Raven vibes. Just a little bit. She was supposed to be a much cooler character. Raven or Shadow the Hedgehog, maybe both mixed. Whatever comparison you want to use. She was supposed to be cool. She was actually a good character. Maybe she wouldn't have been hated from the get-go, or at least not as hated if they went with this idea for her, but when the show was being dumbed down by the network as the production went on, Venus turned into an overpowered character that took out Shredder like that, which felt like undermining the turtles. Also, she was able to get the turtles, beat them all, and tie them up in only a few seconds. Tie them up, hang them upside down. Like, okay, this overpowered character. The hell? Only for the next few episodes after that, she's now weak as hell. Like, what? Where's the consistency? Why are you all over the place? And, oh my god. So, there's that. And then there's also the fact that so all the turtles have their roles. Leonardo's the leader, Donatello's the brains, Raphael's the strong one, the tough one, and Michelangelo's the goofy, fun one, wild card. Like I said earlier, they all get their personality traits. Venus, what's her role? Den mother. Very sexist role to put her in. Damn. It's fucked up. Like, she's kind of a nag at times, depending on the episode, which makes more people not like her. But also, this one's not really a bad character trait. This one's kind of charming. She kind of doesn't get outside, American slang or just slang in general because she was sheltered in China her whole life. And, she says, piece of cake, easy as pie. Oh no, piece of pie, easy as cake. And, she gets the phrases mixed up. She gets slang and casual, references, and she gets it all mixed up because she doesn't know it. And she says toilet instead of sewer. She doesn't know the difference. In this universe, she was a fifth turtle in the jar with them, but Splinter missed her because I guess Splinter was okay, maybe not a drunk, I don't know. Splinter was maybe oblivious in this universe. Oh well. She ended up getting washed away to Chinatown, where she was found by a Chinese guy who taught her magic. She says she's not a ninja, she's a shinobi. Hold on, show creators. Shinobi is just a word for male ninja and has nothing to do with magic. She goes by 3 names. There's Mei Pei Ching, Shinobi, and then the name the turtles gave her, which is Venus de Milo, after she came home with a statue head that got broken off during a fight with the Foot. She defeats Shredder with some kind of mind trick that makes his inner self see the monster he has become and then kind of have a mental collapse. But only for that to be revealed that's not what happened. She just kind of electrocuted him, so he's still evil. It's just, I guess he lost his whole clan because he lost Aura when he lost to a magic girl. I don't know. I don't fucking know. The series finale ends with the turtles realizing they take Venus for granted and whatnot, and they realize that they'd miss her if she was gone. This was after they had a big fight. The series finale was a clip show from previous episodes, which, when you have 2 clip shows in the first season, that's not a good sign. Anyway, that's the last we saw of Venus, until she made a quick cameo in 2012, painted on the side of the original Turtle van. It's like a nod, jab, joking reference. And then Venus made an appearance in IDW. My God, what a difference, because holy shit, this character's totally different. This one's not even fully turtle. This one's half turtle, half frog, and it's like a Frankenstein monster. So, she was originally a human, presumably named Bonnie, unless that's the name she gave herself after she became a frog. She was a member of the Punk Frogs. Like all the Punk Frogs are named after horrible people in history, Genghis, Napoleon, etc. And she was supposed to be like a reference to Bonnie and Clyde, but if she was Bonnie, where the hell's Clyde? I don't know, but after she gets like fucked up, it's like some kind of accident, Dr. Jasper Barlow picks her up and, tries to heal her, but also fucking experiments on her and fucking double mutates her into half frog, half turtle. Because he took Donatello's old shell, because earlier in that continuity, Donatello temporarily died and got brought back, but now he has a metal shell. His original shell somehow got into the hands of Barlow, they don't explain how, and he takes a scale from the dragon, that's a whole other piece of IDW lore I don't have time to get into. Took a scale and stuck it in Donnie's shell, and then stuck it on Venus after doing a blood transfusion with Donatello's blood into Venus, which caused her to double mutate into a turtle. So she's very connected to Donatello. The science guy and the magic one are connected on a deep spiritual level. I kind of like that. That's cool. Kind of the opposite of what they had in Next Mutation, where they're kind of butting heads because magic and science clash. But in this iteration, instead of a cyan or light blue mask, it's kind of light bluish, but later it just goes white. And then also she switches out for face paint later, and it's also white, so that's different. So, yeah. For the longest, she has a stitched up looking body, but then there's more plot hole shenanigans with time travel. I don't have time. I have to cut it here before this gets any longer. This is 10 minutes past what I expected it to be, so I gotta get through the rest. So maybe I'll make a separate video about IDW Venus later. Just ranting about how that plot point doesn't make sense. I hate plot holes. I hate time travel because it's easy to fuck it up. Anyway, now that I've explained Venus, she was hated, but then over time on the internet she got a following, so there was a group of people that liked her. But last thing, is that a kitty? Meow. Meow. You guys hear that? Meow. Meow. Kitty? Huh. Thought I heard a kitty. Kitty? Meow? There's a kitten. Oh, hello, kitten. Kitty, where you go? Kitty? Okay. Okay, bye, kitty. Well, that happened. Okay, what was my train of thought? I lost it. Oh yeah, so Venus, despite everything I said about her character and all the reasons people don't like her, she's actually one of the best, if not the best character in Next Mutation, because every other character is just so bad. Every other character is unlikable douche. Even the turtles, which could be done on purpose, because Venus started out as an overpowered character that just took out the turtles like that, took out Shredder like that. So it could have just been them playing favorites, like someone inserting their OC into their story and making them the best character. You know, that cringe stuff. But maybe it's just them genuinely being bad at writing. I'm not sure. If you look past all the stuff I said I didn't like the whole overpowered thing, but then immediately switched to being weak, the inconsistency, and then her nagging sometimes, beyond that, I actually like her. She's chill. She's only a nag sometimes. It really depends on how bad the turtles fucked up and how much they piss her off that episode. So, yeah, that's Venus. Moving on. Next, before that, was April herself. That's right, in one comic, she became a turtle for one issue. This was in the Archie continuity. She became a turtle for one issue, but got demutated at the end. She wore a white mask and had a sword like Leo. I thought she had a smaller sword like 2012 Karai, but no, that was just a weird perspective thing from the picture I looked at. Turns out it's just a sword, like the same sword as Leo. It's a katana. I hate that. I think all the turtles should have a different mask color and different weapon from each other, but that's just my opinion. And you'd think she would get yellow, not white, but again, it is what it is. It was only for one issue, and then she got turned back, so it's fine. Next, this one's only a technicality. Mona Lisa. We know she's supposed to be some kind of lizard or salamander, but her original concept was supposed to be a turtle. But Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird stepped in and said, nah, that's stupid, make her some kind of lizard. Making a girl turtle just felt gimmicky and stupid, and pointless and needless. It's like, we don't need a female turtle to be the representative for girls. April is our female representative. It's pointless. But they made her, in the 87 show, they never specify if she's like lizard, but she looks like a lizard. But she's good in water, so maybe that's where people get salamander from, and then that's what it has been ever since 2012.